I'm back. Sorry for that unfortunate time to go AFK. Safety car is in now, and they are racing again. James is trying to overtake Matthew here. Can he make it round up the inside? Not quite here. Gonna wait for another chance. Maybe through here. Much better exit. Gonna put the power down as quick as he can. On the inside now. He is past Matthew here. And so is Reaper as well. Making a move. Fight Me also goes up the inside. That was a long way back. Thankfully, there's no contact and Matthew went way too deep. As Sinner said, if you no longer go for a gap, but goodness me, that was a far gap. Yeah, I'm sorry for having to go AFK halfway through it. But these things happen. Wildfire now leads. James can have a go. Maybe up the inside, yellow flag sector 2. That's a spinner behind KJ Styles has spun out. Not quite there. KJ Styles retired actually. I think he's just given up. I'm not sure. I mean, he had spun already before retiring, so. James is now going to have a go at Wildfire, maybe on the inside, not quite here. Fight Me is just behind Reaper as well. Let's check upon the penalties. I did not mean to press that. Penalties, 3 seconds, 5 seconds for Smithy, and 5 seconds. So that's actually really good. No one's really got any penalties. James nearly passing Wildfire there. Reaper nearly passes as well. It's really close racing here. Wildfire on the slower tyres due to the tyre wear. Fight Me now getting really close. Losing a bit of time on the exit though. If you can hear me eating, that is because I eat late compared to most people. Maybe going up the inside is James, not quite there. He's really close to getting the moves, but James is in a massive contention to win this race due to that safety car. Gonna try and go up the inside. There's a spin by Nontus. He's got a wheel on the inside. Just backs out, doesn't want to have a contact, which is probably a smart idea. Now Reaper goes up the inside. He has to move for him. He was his own enemy there from getting so close to the back and having to pull out. So now Reaper has passed. Fight Me could not follow. Fight Me has lost a lot of time. Now Reaper tries to go up the inside. He does get it on the inside there. James not going to be able to get it as well, so he's got a car between him and Reaper. So he's lost out a bunch there. That's really good for Reaper. It's going to be really good for him. Fight Me's caught back up to the back of him. Now Reaper can literally run as far as he needs. He's on the mediums, faster than James's tyre at this point in the race. James needs to pass, and he needs to pass now. Otherwise Reaper will be far too far to catch up to. Down into Spoon. Joan is really close to the back of Matthew as well. So there are battles all the way down the grid. Yellow flag behind, that's Joan. Just commentators just cursed him. Now it's James. Maybe has to go around the outside into the chicane, not quite there. Oh, there's contact. Fight Me has spun round. James hits into the back of Fight Me, and James spins. There was contact in the chicane. They both just closed the gap, and he spun round. James has also been taken out from that. He'll be so unhappy with that, both of them. Wildfire just closed the gap, which he was entitled to do. But also, at what point do you have to leave it open at the same time? James came from quite far back. No, Fight Me came from quite far back. So it was quite acceptable for that to happen. Now, Smithy's AI in third place. How? I don't know. James has lost out to Matthew as well, so doesn't have damage, thankfully. Might have a slightly light green, yellowy wing, but otherwise, yeah, greeny yellow wing. Matthew with a mistake. James might be able to punish him here. Matthew has a lot of ERS. James tries to go around the outside. They're side by side. James is now ahead and he makes the move stick. Now I'm trying to catch up to the back of the other drivers as well. Matthew isn't going to do anything. He goes deep. He's going to be out of the equation for a little bit. Yeah, ran too far. Smithy is now caught up to the back of Wildfire. I think the AI was put on a little bit too high because this isn't right. I think if Smithy does end up getting a podium in this race, he won't get his points allowed. Yeah, the AI on this game are incredibly rapid, especially through tricky corners. They never make a mistake through the corners, always the exact same pace, unless something happens to them. Matthew with a penalty now, which won't be good for him. Now Smithy's AI trying to go around the outside. Yeah, not there. Now he has DRS and ERS open. I'm pretty sure this is AI. It looks silky smooth, so might actually be Smithy, I'm not sure. Very smooth driving. Although, might actually be him. Cool. Only 7 or so laps, no, only 8 or 9 laps left of this race. Done. Penalty. Fight Me has another penalty as well, so he's going to be in the mud. It's the chicane. Fight Me is. Now will Wildfire have a go at Smithy? It is Smithy. Yeah, Smithy is racing it, it's not his AI. Fight Me loses out so much because he has no DRS. James is now catching up to the back of Fight Me after the collision earlier. Wildfire now almost out of the DRS as James gets into the DRS. He is rapid here. Tires seem to be much quicker at this point of the race. No ERS to use though. Nor DRS. Did not get the DRS off the back of Fight Me through there. Wildfire is kept in the back of Smithy's DRS. Oh, my bad. I said James and Fight Me had different tyres. They have the same tyres. I was looking at the wrong person, my bad. James overtakes Fight Me. I did not see that. Yeah, Fight Me must have made a mistake, and James just sneaks past. Now Fight Me has to work back for that position. Unless they can work together. James has almost no ERS left to use. So Fight Me will be having a go at the back of James. Maybe down this straight, maybe not. He's using his ERS. James has no ERS to use. Fight Me is going to save a bit more ERS now for later on in the DRS zone. Not quite into the chicane. Gonna have a go through the DRS zone. Not a good exit at all there. Shocking exit. I don't know if he's AI or... But he is... No, he's just not trying to overtake James. Yellow flag sector 1, that's nonsense. At least he's still in it. That's nonsense going round, being lapped by the other drivers. That's unfortunate for him. As everyone just laps. Yeah, Nonsense isn't having a good day. At least he's still in the race, but barely at this point. Half a wing, spinning round. Thankfully there's no oncoming traffic to actually hit into him. Does however have more ERS than everyone else. But it's not optimal racing lines if I've ever seen it. Matthew catches up to the back of Nontus. Lap 23, and out of 27 laps, and Ruther is in the lead, followed by Smithy with a penalty, Wildfire in P3. Let's just take a look at the penalties quickly. Yeah, Smithy with a 5-second penalty, but I think that's going to get removed at the end of the race. Followed by Wildfire, James, Fight Me with 6 seconds of penalties behind James. Matthew with 3 seconds of penalties behind Fight Me. Joan with 8 seconds of penalties, 1 for speeding in the pit lane and 1 for... Wait, no, 1 for, I think it was safety car, and 1 for corner cutting. And Nonsus in 8th, being lapped after a few large mistakes. But he's still in there, still going. You got to respect it. I think Smithy is on for a second P2 finish here, unless something happens to him or he's overtaken by Wildfire. Because I know for a fact that that penalty is going to get removed. I do have to say though, his driving style today has really impressed me. I actually thought he was an AI for a few laps, due to how smooth it was. Just look at how he's driving. Like, he is not driving as an AI, because an AI would be driving straight, not like slightly sliding there. Just look how he applies the brake and the throttle. It's just so perfect. Really good stuff from him. Yeah, I not put a foot wrong all race apart from the spin at the start, which is very, very easy to do on cold tyres, especially around this track. That is Reaper going. Oh, that is Nonsense going over the top of the tunnel. That was sick. Now James has caught up to the back of Wildfire rapidly. Now his hard tyres are catching up to the medium runners now rapidly. He is going to be in a great position to overtake a few drivers here if he can just get the laps in. Fight Me for the end of the race on these hard tyres has just not had the pace really. He might have a small amount of wing damage that might be hindering him a bit. But it's not the pace that he was showing earlier in the race. It might just be a lack of pace on the hard tyres. Smithy has a bunch of ERS to defend with though, and to escape with as well. So here comes James. He has DRS. Wildfire does not. He is going to maybe have a go on the inside into turn 1. They're side by side. It's really close, and James gets past. There's a mistake though, so he's makes a mistake. He goes wide, and Wildfire retakes the position. James will have to wait another lap, which might be crucial for him trying to catch up and overtake Smithy. He is now 1.5 away from Smithy, so that could have been a massive mistake that might just end his chance at a P2, maybe, probably not a P3. He might have a go at the inside here. I don't think he wants to. I think he doesn't think it's safe enough. Now, maybe going to have a go at the inside on the chicane. Nope, not here. He is not close enough without the assistance of ERS. Now going to be trying to catch up through the exit of this chicane. Put the power down. ERS as well. Might have a go into Spoon. I don't think he will. He's just going to keep as close behind of him as he can. Keeping it up in 7th, down to 5th, putting the power down to 4th, maybe 3rd as well if he wants it, back up to 5th then, just keeping it nice and easy, using a bit of the ERS just to keep close before the braking zone. Nice, good bit of slipstream here. He is actually really close to the back of Wildfire. He has a little bit more ERS. He could have a look up the inside. I think he wants to have a look up the inside. Not quite there. He's smart enough to not just not put a wing in there, because he knows that Wildfire has the right to close the gap and will close the gap. DRS open now. A little bit of ERS to use. Is he going to go up the inside? Maybe around the outside. Up the inside into turn 1. That's a really good camera angle. He gets past. He is now ahead. He has to catch up by 1.8 in the next lap, and that's his only real chance to get past. So he has to catch up by at least 8 tenths to the back of Smithy. Smithy has to run. Smithy makes a small mistake there, going a little bit deep. James has gained a few tenths there. He's going to be right in the back of Smithy as Reaper just runs away with the win. we have to remember Wildfire as well can always do something if he keeps close enough. James has really done well to catch up here. He is right on the back of Smithy. He might be able to pull something out of the bag towards the end of the race. The Delta shows a little bit of line there, but he has lost a good amount of time through that chicane. A big lockup and not a great exit compared to Smithy. Smithy is now getting away. No ERS to use. Smithy has a bunch of it to use, so if Smithy can use his ERS and keep out of keep James out of his DRS. That will be crucial. James will try and get as much slipstream as he can before the chicane. He has to get there before the chicane, on the entry into the chicane. I don't think he will have DRS anymore. This is his last chance through this first DRS zone. He will not have it, so it might just be that Smithy runs away with this P2. His penalty will be removed at the end of the race, because I know that he did not deserve it. There was contact in the back of him and he just got given a 5-second penalty for nothing. So unless James can completely catch up to the back of Smithy, or Smithy gets a 3-second penalty, which I do not expect, I think James will only be getting a P3 here and Smithy will be getting a P2. James will have to be so close to overtake Smithy outside of a DRS zone here. He is much closer this lap. One more lap and he would probably get him, but not here. Maybe that mistake was crucial to not being able to pass Smithy. Did lose a good amount of time and he lost at least 5 tenths, which would have given him the DRS if he didn't lose it. Also a mistake here on the other lap messed him up. Not quick through there as well again, but not slow. Gonna be pushing as much as he can towards the end of the race to get this. He will get P2 on. Should get P2 on the game. Maybe Fight Me can have a go as well at Wildfire to get a P4. But Smithy will not be getting that penalty. Will be getting that penalty removed. Won't be having the penalty after the race. Reaper wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Smithy in P2 if he can make it through the chicane, which he does nicely, over the line, and Smithy comes P2, James P3, Wildfire P4, Fight Me P5, Matthew P6, Joan P7, and Nontus P8. What a race this has been. Towards the end, that was really interesting. 2 safety cars. That is a lot of DNFs. That is, how many is that? 1, 2, 3. That's 6 DNFs. Started with 14, ended with 8. Nontus was lapped due to a few mistakes creeping in every now and then. As we wait for everyone to finish the Grand Prix. What a race it has been. Thank you everyone for watching with me. It's unfortunate the first stream died, but it was a blast having you with me. So thank you very much for being here. As we wait for the last people to cross the line, Nonsense just fucking around, just waiting. And that is the end of the race. Thank you for joining me for today's race. Gnome is just having a little bit of a break, and he does his job really well. He has countless hours of commentating. Everyone needs a break every now and then. So the next streams will be unknown on if anyone's commentating on it or not. My voice is dead right now, so I don't know about tomorrow, but I will see if I'm allowed and if my voice is good enough for it. Thank you for joining me. This has been Tess commentating for you on this Grand Prix. It's been amazing. Thank you very much. At the end, I'll just show you the grid rundown at the end of the race. It goes Reaper, James, Wildfire, Smithy, Fight Me, Matthew, Joe and Nontus. The DNFs were KJ Styles, Belmar, Pika, Perker, J, Former, and FCST. I don't think that was any more of them. Yeah, those are the people who finished. People who finished are the top 8, and the people who didn't finish are from the top 9 or the bottom 9 and below. thank you very much for joining me. It was a great race, and I will see you guys tomorrow, maybe. I don't know.